Hello and welcome to episode 24 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Going straight in with it then this time with a brand new ride and two rides, matter of fact, that are going in next to each other. I'm actually going to build two go-kart tracks. Now it's all about throughputs at this park and theme parks in general. I think, especially the bigger parks, it's really important when they build attractions, they either build two of them to increase the throughput or they put in a nice high throughput ride. I mean, you've only got to look at like the Magic Kingdom expansion a few years ago over in Florida. Now Dumbo's has always been a really popular ride at the Disney parks, and what they decided to do was add two of them in next to each other and complement that by building like a big top circus queue line and a really interactive queue line. It's even got a play area inside there, but yeah, so they did that all to add to that throughput. So that's what I want to do with this really. I mean, with the go-kart attractions, you know, they don't have much throughput at all, so I thought, yeah, let's build two of these. We can actually make it look really nice in terms of the theming around here as well. So over the next few minutes you'll see that all start to come to place just here. In terms of what's going to happen in the rest of the episode, obviously once I've completed the go-karts track in a couple of minutes time, you'll see me start to build the station and associated buildings all around it. The queue line starts to go in, and then I think all about the landscaping around this here. It is some sort of lost planet, this back end of the park. That's the kind of feel that I want to go for with it, and you'll see that I add all the different terrain all around there. Again, plenty of rock work, or loads of rock work inside this park. I've become famous for the hashtag rock work during Planet Coaster. It's just one of them little things that, you know, I just started saying in the videos, and now I get people coming up to me at Alton Towers where I work, and they come up and say, hey, it's Shawn, hashtag rock work. It is really funny, and I'm glad that you're all enjoying this Planet Coaster series so far. Can't believe that we're 24 episodes in. But yeah, you can just see me here doing all the terrain around it, and then adding a new flat ride just in here as well. So with this one, in terms of everything you see happening this episode, yeah, it might be what, 24 minutes or whatever, but this was actually about 6 hours worth of work you see in here that's been sped up, and like I said, I just cut into little bits and cut little bits out. Else it'd go on even sped up, it'd go on for an hour and a half, and I wanted it to be a, you know, not that long, you know what I mean, because after this episode I want to build a brand new roller coaster in the game, and by the time we get to the end of this, believe it or not, this area is pretty much nearly complete. I mean, I say that there's work I want to do on all the areas still, but the main basis of it is complete, and it could open, so to speak, and there's just more finishing touches and things that I'd like to add. Later on in the episode you'll see me add even more buildings around the area, and we also theme the spinning coaster that I built over the past 2 episodes as well. Now I did ask over both them episodes for your ideas to come in of what you thought the spinning coaster should look like in terms of theming and a storyline, and of course a name for it, and I've got that now to share with you guys. So I must say that over the comments section there's been so many different names, awesome names, and some really good different storylines, backstories to a ride. I mean, in my opinion, Disney are the best out there in terms of creating a backstory for an attraction, and that's what I look for when I go to theme parks. It isn't all about what the actual ride hardware is, whether it's a B&M inverted coaster or a Max spinning coaster, you know, that's great, but it is all about the theme, the experience, and that's why I'm very excited for Secret Weapon 8 at Alton Towers, because it is looking to be an experience ride, and that's something what I look at a lot. Especially that's why I go over to the Disney parks, and you know, I'm proud that I've been to all the 6 different Disney resorts in the world. You know, it really is a proud moment for me, and seeing all that storytelling at the Disney parks, and yeah, that is wonderful. They're my favourite types of parks, ones that tell stories. So going off the back of that then, the spinning coaster, I've actually got a name from one person and then a theme from another person, a backstory so to speak for it. So we'll go with the name first. The name has been sent in on the comments by Mr_Brads1, who commented, the name for the spinning coaster should be called Lumina. I really like that, Lumina, which is basically got this backstory behind it, which has come from, I don't know really know how to pronounce this, but I think it's Lee's J Productions, who commented, the building could be a command centre that wants to explore the core of various planets. Seeing a simple frozen looking planet, which is now Lumina, your team embarks on a journey to the planet. After first seeing the blue lighted glaciers, you fall deep into the core where volcanic ash and lava surround the once frozen planet of Lumina. Soon your team barely escapes after the once empty and barren planet becomes consumed by magma. I absolutely love that backstory, and I really like how you've sort of adapted that to what I did with the theming in the last episode as well. I mean, you obviously watched me do that and thought, yeah, you know what? Let's go with that that theme. And like I said, I think Lumina is a really good name and sort of fits with that. That is the planet what they're traveling to. So yeah, that's a really, really good backstory. So thanks to both of you guys for commenting on the videos. And like I say, if you've got any further suggestions for what I could name attractions, then make sure you keep commenting down below on the video. I like to stay very interactive in our Planet Coaster series and all of our videos here on the channel. I love seeing what you guys think. So yes, make sure you keep commenting below, and let's look at some names for the go-karts attraction. Now I am actually going to be going away over the next week. We're doing the Europe trip. I'm actually out there now as this video's gone online, but for the next episode, as soon as I come back from the trip, I'm going to be filming episode 25. 25 is a good number, yeah, it's a good episode, so I want to make sure that we're building something big, and I want to build a brand new roller coaster, and I want it to be inside the fantasy themed area of the park, because that's where I'm going to start work next once this area is complete. Now obviously it is a family area. I don't want a massive thrill coaster in there. I'm going to save that for my final area down in the bottom right corner, just underneath the Sci-Fi area. But yeah, get comments in. What would you like to see family coaster wise built inside that area? We've already got a Vekoma Junior coaster, maybe something, I don't know, like honestly, you guys just comment what you would like to see, and then I'll look at all your different suggestions and build one of those inside that area. But yes, in terms of the buildings work that you can see going on just here, obviously I'm putting all the finishing touches onto the building, which is home to that spinning coaster just underneath it there as well. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave you with a little bit of theme park music for a few minutes as you enjoy all the theming going into place here. And like I say, what I do on this building now, this was about 2.5 hours worth of work that's been sped up just here and cut into and cut out. So here you go, enjoy it. Enjoy all this sci-fi theming going into place. I really enjoyed doing this build, and I must say, in a few minutes time when you see this building complete, it does look fantastic. So as you've seen there over the past few minutes, all of the buildings really starting to look good now, and obviously you can't tell at all that you've got a massive spinning coaster inside there. It really does look great from the outside, and like I say, I might go back at some point and add even more little details on the front, but for now I'm quite happy with all the walls that I've done there, and I'll continue that off camera, doing all the back and sides on that as well. Obviously it's going to be the same sort of design, so I didn't want to bore you and show you the same clip of me doing all that round the back as well, as it is going to look pretty much identical to what it is on the front. I'll just adapt it to the different walls and things on the other side of the building. Now obviously here I'm adding all the little catwalks and details on the roof. You might be thinking, hang on a minute, you wouldn't be seeing this if you're inside the park, but I can see it inside this game, and I want to make sure that it looks nice. I don't just want there to be a massive plain roof there with nothing on. I want to make sure it looks good. I did a similar thing when I built the Pirate Dark ride. God, that feels like so long ago now when I built that. It was months ago. It was before summer. Earlier this year, but obviously I wanted to make sure that I do all the roof and make it that it looks really nice for in the game, basically, because I just don't want there to be a massive blank space in the middle of the park. Obviously all these catwalks and things as well, you could say that it's there for maintenance even, you know, just for staff to access, or it could be some sort of walk-through, but I'd imagine, you know, you wouldn't really have a walk-through up there without any barriers up and stuff, so this is more, you know, staff access paths what are going up, just tweaking it there. That's the beauty of this, the little advanced move tool to move little bits when you need to. Overall, you can really start to see how this area is starting to come alive now, and I'd really like you guys to name this area for me as well. I mean, we've got area names for the other areas in the park. I want to see what you guys would name this. I mean, you've got a good gist of it all now. All the attractions what are going to be inside this area are now built. You've got a few flat rides in there, 3 different flat rides throughout the area, 2 roller coasters, and of course the 2 go-karts rides. So there's quite a bit of stuff actually inside this area. My favourite thing in here is probably the launch coaster, but I do really like this spinning coaster. In terms of the building, I'd say it's probably the best building, the best themed building I've done so far in Planet Coaster, and I really do think that I've progressed a lot with theming since starting this game. I mean, you look back at the start in November last year in episode 1, where I did all the RMC coaster and the buildings around there, following that in episodes 2 and 3, and yeah, theming, like doing that saloon right at the start, I look back on that now and look at this and think, wow, I wouldn't think that, you know, about 9 months later I was going to be doing all this level of detailed theming, because to be honest, I haven't really played this game that much throughout the year. I mean, yes, I've been doing these updates every 2 or 3 weeks, but in terms of that, I've not been playing the game, I've not worked in any of the parks. This is it, this is all the stuff I've done in Planet Coaster, and when this park is complete, I'll be working on another park and looking at different inspiration from different parts that people have done and seeing things. There is some amazing stuff out there what people have done in Planet Coaster, there really is, and I've really been enjoying watching other people's series, what they've been doing on their parks. And yeah, as much as, you know, I haven't sort of put anything from their parks into here, from the workshop, everything I've built in this has been my own, and yes, I will be uploading this part to the workshop along with some individual rides and theming elements once it is complete. But yeah, I'm really excited just to see it all finished, and like I say, I'm going to carry on working the fantasy area next, and then work on my final themed area down at the bottom. So you'll see here now, and really for the rest of the episode, it's all about adding more details to all the theming in this area. You've got all the main sort of signature buildings in here now, and I just go over them and add lighting, add these panels on there, all the different space and sci-fi themed objects, just to keep adding layers really. I mean, I mentioned layers a lot, but that is really what it's all about, and anybody who plays Planet Coaster will tell you that. I mean, you put your walls in, and then you add your next thing on top, then your next thing, and before you know it, it really looks detailed and looks fantastic. Yeah, and that's just what happens with this game. And I know there's a lot of people out there now what play Planet Coaster, and a lot of people have been inspired to get Planet Coaster or build certain attractions because of this series on Theme Park Worldwide, and it is crazy. I've had some lovely comments from people, and it's some really nice helpful tips along the way as well. I've learned things about this game throughout it, what I didn't know myself. If you guys hadn't commented on the videos, whether it's little ways to make things easier, make my life easier when I'm building things, and all sorts of stuff, and of course all the names in this park and all the ideas for different bits of theming has all come from you guys down below in the comments, and I really do appreciate that. And it's a proud moment to look at this park now, and it makes me sad really that it's not real. If this park was real though, it'd have to be be here in the United Kingdom, wouldn't it? I mean, we've not got a theme park with anywhere near this level of theming. I mean, there's not really any parks out there in the world that are quite as heavy themed as this, I don't think. Looking at everything, maybe Fantasyland is, if you look at some of the areas there. But other than that, even some of the Disney areas, I don't think have got quite as many details and the continuity that this park's got. Continuity is a big thing, actually, and yeah, it's a big word. I don't normally use big words like that. But yeah, continuity. I wanted to make sure that every area in this park was split off nicely, and there's trees, there's rocks, using the terrain to split things off. And I look at the sort of sight lines for things and make sure that everything sort of blends in with each other. And if there's a big tall building somewhere, there's trees in another of the areas to block it, so it doesn't really spoil that view. That is going to be quite hard to block the spinning coasters building from the fantasy area, but it's something that I'm looking at doing, and whatever coaster I build next, I'm looking at building it just opposite the spinning coaster. As soon as you go through the tunnel that I built last episode on the footpath, if you can remember that, I'm looking at putting in this coaster there, whatever it may be, some sort of family ride. So like I say, keep commenting down below with that one. Like I say, I'll leave you then for a few more minutes with a bit of theme park music, then I'll get back to you and we'll talk a little bit more about the park. I really do feel like this area's really came together in this episode. I mean, all the different buildings, we put the go-karts in there, I've been round and enhanced the rock work around the coaster. I just feel like it's all come together now, and out of all the areas I'd done at first, I didn't know how this one was going to look. I mean, the others had a good idea of how I wanted them to look in terms of layouts of the paths, buildings, where attractions were going to go. With this, it was a bit of a sort of, ooh, let's just try it and see if it works. I mean, I built the coaster first a few episodes back, built the double launch coaster, and then sort of worked the area around that. Obviously, I built the coaster just off from the centre of the park and thought, yeah, we'll see how it goes there, and I'll kind of build everything else up from there, really. But yeah, I think it looks really good now. I'm just adding in food courts and toilets and other facilities, all that kind of stuff now, and putting in all the theme in. But yes, like I say, nearly at the end of this episode now, this sci-fi area, it's pretty much done. I mean, yes, you could open this now if I wanted to. There's still other enhancements I'd like to make, but by all means, it's done for now, and I want to move on next, back up into the fantasy area, where I've now got quite a bit more inspiration for it. I think at the time, it was more out of, I've kind of run out of thoughts of what I want to do up there fantasy wise. I've now got big plans, and in the next episode we're going to build a brand new family coaster, so get commenting down below what you'd like to see built up there. I've got a few ideas myself, but I'd like to see what you guys would like to see up there, and if they match my thoughts going on in my brain at the moment. And then after that, I will build a brand new dark ride inside this game as well. I'm going to go with something a bit different up there, maybe a Cheshire Cats or something like that. I don't know, some sort of dark ride inside. I mean, I would like to have done a slow moving boat ride really, but we might have to go with a Cheshire Cats or something along those lines, some sort of transit system that we can use. But yeah, the next episode will be in a couple of weeks' time. Like I say, at the moment we are on our European road trip, so make sure you check out all the vlogs from that. And here we go, let's end the episode by showing some nice panning shots over this sci-fi area. Like I say, the go-kart track, yeah, there's more theming I want to add around there, but for now I think this looks good to go. And like I say, we're going to carry on next with fantasy. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Hope you enjoy watching these as much as I enjoy playing the game and making them. Thank you very much for watching, and that means it's time to cue those credits. Thanks guys, see you soon.